Hello and welcome to this new episode of the Eigen Values podcast. This is an audio version of the Eigen Values Substack that can be found at davidturver.substack.com. This time we look at international energy price comparisons to see how the UK fares on the world stage. If you enjoy this podcast, please like, share and subscribe to receive more content. Each year, the government publishes international energy price comparisons. The data is sourced from the IEA and covers industrial and domestic gas and electricity prices. The latest data for 2023 was published a couple of weeks ago. This data covers 28 of the countries that are part of the IEA. The data for some countries, such as Italy and Japan, is patchy, and charts containing so many lines are difficult to decipher. So the chart analysis below focus on France, Germany, the UK, Korea and the United States, as well as the median price for the whole of the IEA. The commentary does discuss other countries when appropriate, and all prices are quoted including taxes. So let's take some time to dig in and find out where the UK stands in the International Energy League tables. Let's start with industrial gas prices, which come from table 5.7.1 of the government's data release, and these are shown in figure 1. Gas prices for most of the world are at elevated levels, and UK industrial gas prices are at 5.58 pence per kilowatt hour, and they're some 7% below the IEA median. UK prices are about 17% lower than France and 10% less than Germany. The outlier in this analysis is the USA, with gas prices some 5 times lower than those in the UK. Canada's industrial gas prices are even lower than the US, and New Zealand's gas prices are also very low. Let's turn now to industrial electricity prices, and these are shown in figure 2. UK industrial electricity prices at 25.85 pence per kilowatt hour are the highest of the 28 countries covered by the IEA report. UK prices are some 4 times those in the US, 2.6 times those of Korea, and 46% higher than the IEA median. Given that the UK gas prices are below the IEA median and those of France and Germany, it cannot be that gas prices are driving UK electricity prices so much higher than elsewhere. Canada, Norway, Finland, Sweden, New Zealand and Portugal all have industrial electricity prices that are less than 10p per kilowatt hour. We cannot hope to compete in traditional energy-intensive industries or industries of the future like making batteries or AI with such extortionate electricity prices. Domestic gas prices paint a similar picture to industrial gas prices as shown in figure 3. UK prices are at the IEA median of 10.17 pence per kilowatt hour, slightly above those in France and a little bit below those in Germany. The price differential compared to the US is less pronounced, but domestic gas prices in the UK are still 2.5 times those in the US and roughly double those in Korea. Sadly, UK domestic electricity prices are even worse than industrial prices compared to the IEA median, as shown in figure 4. At 36.39 pence per kilowatt hour, the UK has the highest domestic electricity prices in the IEA, some 80% above the median of 20.22 pence per kilowatt hour. UK prices are 2.8 times those of the US and 3.5 times those in Korea. Prices in Germany are slightly lower than the UK, with France's prices just above the IEA median at 20.57 pence per kilowatt hour. So what are we to make of all this? When it comes to gas prices, the UK is reasonably competitive compared to the IEA median. However, there are many countries with much lower industrial gas prices, notably the US and Korea. However, when we turn to electricity prices, the UK is woefully uncompetitive in both industrial and domestic markets, with the highest prices among the 28 countries covered by the IEA. This level of price differential is an existential threat to the economy. Moreover, with gas prices around the median level, it cannot be gas that is driving the UK's electricity prices well above those of international competitors. As discussed previously, it's the 11 billion of renewable subsidies, 4.6 billion of carbon taxes in the form of the emissions trading scheme, 2.5 billion of grid balancing costs and 1 billion of capacity market costs that are driving electricity prices skywards. There's an extra 112 billion of transmission network costs in the pipeline to connect remote intermittent renewables to the grid that will continue to push up prices. Sadly, the government has made a decarbonised grid by 2030 one of its 5 missions for government. Pushing even more renewables onto the grid is bound to increase electricity costs even further, crushing our competitiveness. This is in direct contradiction to Labour's number 1 mission, which is of increasing economic growth. As discussed earlier, these 2 missions are incompatible. We cannot have top-tier growth with the highest electricity prices in the developed world. Having the highest electricity prices in the world ought to be considered a national emergency. The government's primary mission should be to cut energy prices because cheap energy is the key to unlocking growth. They should focus first on ending subsidies for renewables and cancelling any further auction rounds. This would stop the rot at source. Second, they should abolish the emissions trading scheme to bring down the cost of gas-fired generation. The government will then need to invest in new sources of gas supply by encouraging more North Sea drilling and lifting the moratorium on fracking. In the longer term, there should be a renewed focus on nuclear in the form of conventional reactors, small modular reactors or SMRs, and advanced reactors. This will need to be supplemented by gas-fired generation for the time being until nuclear is able to respond effectively to rapid changes in demand. We can but hope that reality dawns on the government before the economy collapses under the weight of net zero. Thank you for listening. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel to receive more content or sign up at davidturver.substack.com.